to transferring files using WinSCP. So this is a bit of important because we need to copy the PEM file which we downloaded from AWS into root.ssh and rename it to IDRSA. This enables us to connect to the rest of the nodes in the cluster from the master node. And Hadoop requires passwordless SSH in all the nodes. So that is one of the reasons we are doing this one. So download and install WinSCP. If you don't have that one, it should be available from Google. So once you install it, open it, and we'll be giving the public DNS which we copied earlier, and click on advanced, right, and go to authentication and provide your key which you have generated, the PPK key, okay, the one we used to connect to PuTTY. Select that one and click on allow agent forwarding and press OK. Right, now you should click on login. Right, and it will give you a warning, accept that one, and you should be okay. It's asking for root. Right, and we are connected there. Okay, you can see this one. So what we'll do is we will copy exactly listed here, copy the public key PEM file you downloaded from AWS while creating instances, place it in root SSH and rename it to IDRSA. Okay, so we got the root here, so which we took the backup. So I'll go find the key which I have downloaded and I'll copy it here. Okay, so I'll go to the Unix command prompt and I'll rename it as IDRSA. There is an alternative way to do this one, which is PSCP, if you are aware of, PuTTY secure copy. You can do either way, it doesn't matter. I just want to be simple, so I gave this one. So .ssh, so mv to ID_RSA, right? So now we can delete the backup file if you want, because we are already able to connect with root. Okay, so that is, we need to do that one and set up a network connectivity for Hadoop cluster. So what we need to do is we need to modify the host file of Linux to have the configuration as IP address, FQDN and the name, right? So I'll be doing that one right now. So take a notepad and copy it either from Amazon AWS. So if you go to AWS, select each node and you can see private DNS and private IPs. That is, your IP address is your IP address what you need in the host file, and private DNS is your FQDN. So how to verify that? So let's go to PuTTY back again. So if you go there and type in hostname -i, it will come up and you can verify it in here, right? So if you go to private IPs, it's the same one, and go to hostname -f, it will be your private DNS. So you can compare it here, right? So we have to get them back into a file and copy it into host file. I'll be doing that one right now. So this is how the file should look like, and the spaces between each of them is a tabbed space, so be careful with that one, and it's especially required. So copy this one and go to PuTTY we already have a session open, and vi hosts. Leave whatever is there and go to press enter, escape, insert, and right click. Right, so you have all the copies of IP address and host names here. Okay, so that is done, and save it. So cat etc hosts. Right, so that looks good. So next step is to copy that host file into all the nodes of our Hadoop cluster. So let's do that one. For host in, let's make a file called host file 1 and put the IP addresses in here. So take the IP addresses and put them here. Okay, escape, insert, and paste them. So now let's write the little for loop. For host in cat $host file 1 do echo copying hosts file to all nodes $host file 1 and scp/etc host to $host :etc hosts. Right, and it is done. Let us see the output, how it goes. Yeah, sorry, I have to cancel that one because we need to first set up the SSH before copying that one. So the step below that one is to set up the SSH. So I'll sort out this one. So we need to set up the SSH on all the nodes like we did the first one, how we connected to root from modifying a couple of files under SSHD and authorized keys. We have to do that on all the nodes, and then we'll be able to do the SSH. So let's do that one and come back to this bit, which is copying the host file and copying the SSH files required ID underscore RSA to all the nodes. Okay, so you get all the public DNS names from Amazon to each of the nodes. First one we have done already. Take the second one and copy this link here and add it in putty, and then go in, log in as EC2 user and modify the files we modified, sshd underscore config and authorized keys. So repeat that for all the nodes. So we have modified all the files, and we have got the DNS names, public DNS names back into the putty session, and now we are ready to connect. So the last thing we need to do is put in root for each of them, load and data root. Right, so the third one, right, the only bit we missed before is this one. So this bit should be, please repeat this process on all the slave nodes, or you can script the process. So that has to be completed on all the nodes. So once you're done that one, and you should be able to do the SCP, right? Now log in into the master node. Right, and go to SSH. So you got authorized keys and ID RSA. So we need to set some permissions on top of this file system, as we mentioned in the document. So first let's do that one. Yeah. chmod 700 / root / .ssh. So we need to set up a config file, which is basically, it should have a key in it, strict key. So strict key host checking equal to no. Config. Right, now let's try the first one. Let's pick up the IP address of slave node, and we are on master node. Right, bad configuration. So there is some key in that file. Let me modify that. So the file should be like this: strict host key checking no. So that allows us to connect to any of the slave nodes without password. So here is the first slave node, and it should connect straight away. So let's try the second one. Okay, here we are in now node 2, so that doesn't have the config file, right? So we'll exit here and go back to the master node and test it from here. So it should go straight away. Okay, there is a bit of change here. Yeah, that should work now. It's a bit of typo error in the earlier configuration file on that node. Yeah, there you go. So that's how the SSH to be set up on the nodes, and we have also seen how to modify the files and connect from root user from PuTTY. So that is not recommended in production, but we have to do that one right now because many of the services will run under root. Right, in production you have different users and different setups based on authorization and security, right? So we'll end the session here, and next session we'll start with a little bit pre-install activities of Hadoop cluster, and then we move on to actual installation of Hadoop with Ambari. Thank you.